Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Brett Nolan, and this is going to be my presentation on the entrepreneurial business of Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Uh, I have five main questions that are going to outline this presentation, and they are: what is the need solved by this product? What is unique about their business? How has their business evolved over the years? What are some of the challenges faced by these entrepreneurs, and how did they overcome them? What are some of the lessons learned from this entrepreneur? So the first question we're going to answer is, what is the need solved by this product? So Five Guys serves as a substitute to your typical fast food restaurant, specifically talking about fast food burger establishments like Burger King or McDonald's. And if you'll look up in the top right hand corner, I've put a little comparison of a typical McDonald's hamburger and a Five Guys burger, and it's pretty obvious to tell from the picture that Five Guys is very obviously higher quality, and that's kind of their spin. They're a fast food burger with high quality that maintains high quality. The next question is, what is unique about their business? So there's a few things unique about Five Guys, but some of the ones that I wanted to hit on is that they are fast food made to order. So if you go into McDonald's, you go in and you ask for a cheeseburger, and they pull one off the rack and they hand you a cheeseburger because they're pre-made. You go into Five Guys and you order exactly what you like to eat, and they make it in the kitchen for you on the spot. That's a big step up and ensures quality. It's a little bit of quality control. They also use high quality ingredients. So like I said in that picture, it's obvious that their ingredients are far higher quality than your typical fast food restaurant, and they really take pride in that. They're also a family atmosphere. So the Morrell family owns Five Guys, and they are very family driven, and they make sure that that is put into their restaurant as well. All of their family members, all of their immediate family members, I should say, work in the business, and they're all very proud of it, and they all take good care of it. So our third question is going to be, how has their business evolved over the years? Well, it began in Northern Virginia in the Washington area, and if you know anything about that area, it's a very dense, very densely populated, and that is kind of a breeding ground for success of something that's as good as a really well-run restaurant that's going to have a lot of traffic, and it's going to lead to a lot of money if you're any good at it. This allowed them to kind of expand within the area. I think they had five different stores pretty quickly in that area, and that was kind of how they began. Then, after they were well established, they made sure to be well established. They decided to franchise. Franchising allowed them to obviously expand very rapidly, and they still are. If you look down at the bottom of your screen, I have kind of a graph of their store count and their franchises. Let's see. This is kind of an outdated graph. It only goes to 2011, but it's well above that number now, and this graph kind of serves its purpose. The third thing is that they stayed true to their original business plan. So their entire basis is that they don't want to evolve. They want to keep that same kind of mom and pop feel no matter where it's at. So their franchises are held to a very high standard because of that. They want to keep the high quality up, the quality control. Our next question is, what are some of the challenges faced by these entrepreneurs, and how did they overcome them? So the origin story of Five Guys is pretty interesting. As I said on the last slide, they started out in the Virginia, Washington area, but they had no prior restaurant experience before opening Five Guys. As a matter of fact, they made some money in insurance and financial planning. They called it a little nest egg they had that they used to open Five Guys Burgers and Fries. And so they have no experience in the restaurant business. They don't know anything that's going on. And they obviously overcame that and adapted to that. Now they're a huge business. They also kept their high standards and high quality ingredients, and that has been one of their keys to success. Keeping their high standards, their quality control, like I keep talking about. That is what they believe has kept their success, and that's why they're so particular about what we're about to talk about, is their franchising. Obviously, before they opened their restaurant and had a lot of success, they had no knowledge about franchising, and they were really reluctant to do it because they did not want their name to be ruined by someone else owning one of their restaurants. So, and actually a funny story behind this is Jerry Merle, the owner of Five Guys, his son brought him a book called Franchising for Dummies. And he read the book, and that's what changed his mind on allowing franchises for Five Guys. They obviously eventually did allow franchising, and they don't allow many franchise owners. They're worried about having too many franchise owners because they believe that that's a lot to keep up with if they have sporadic franchise owners. So they make you buy 5 in the franchise before they let you have any. You have to get at least 5 franchises to be able to get into the Five Guys business, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of stake for a lot of people, but they believe that allows them to keep up their quality control. Another funny story about their quality and how high their standards are is eventually they tried frying their fries in peanut oil. And they thought that it was way better, than your typical. They really wanted to introduce that to their restaurants. And so they go to the grocery store and they buy every bottle of peanut oil that their local grocery store had. They bought them out of peanut oil, and they used that in all of their restaurants for a while until they eventually found out that they could get it in bulk, obviously. But they found out that peanut oil was the one they wanted, and they went all out to get that extra bit of quality. They even have a science for the shakes, how many times their cooks shake off their fries. They make them shake it off exactly 15 times because they think that allows the exact amount of grease left on it to make their fries delicious. And that is the standard of the Merle family. So our final question is going to be, what are some of the lessons learned from this entrepreneur? Some of the lessons I learned from this entrepreneur, from Five Guys and their business, is that you need to stick to your roots. They were very adamant on what they wanted, the type of pickles they wanted in their burger. We don't want the pickles on top of the tomato. We want the pickles under the tomato. They wanted what they wanted, and they didn't budge on it no matter what. People tried to push them into doing other stuff, and they absolutely wouldn't have it. They wanted it done their way, the right way, is what they thought, and I'd have to agree. The little things matter. This is obviously a big one from how much I've talked about things like the pickles being under the tomato when you assemble a burger. They really go out of their way to ensure the highest quality and the best product is being put out of their business for their customers. Like the peanut oil, the pickles, the peanuts you can get inside the restaurant. Just anything while you wait. They really take into account everything, and they really go out of their way to ensure that quality. Thirdly, success shouldn't change your outlook on family or your business. They were making a ton of money with their first initial 5 restaurants that they opened. They were having a ton of success. People wanting to buy restaurants, offering ludicrous amounts of money to be able to open up one of their restaurants for franchising. Uh, and they absolutely wanted to make sure that they would have their family values instilled in that business, and that they would be knowledgeable about what they were doing before they allowed someone to franchise it like that. And I think that's very admirable. I learned a lot from that. I think everybody can. And this is the family in the photo. This is some of the men of Five Guys that run it. Uh, Lastly, and probably most importantly for them, I'm sure, is that the customer comes first. If you've been listening to anything I say, you know that they work for the customer and that they put out the best product they can for their customer. And I really think that's a great way to be. Thank you for listening to this presentation. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good day.